Okay, here we are. It's been I think about a week since I went live last time, and we back. We back. What's up, everyone? Up, there we go. Ta-da-da. I see that the music cuts out immediately the moment I switch to the webcam. But hey, very nice. Welcome. Good to see you. Let me pop out the chat, and I see the OG in the chat. DOG, I'm so sorry. I now remind myself, or actually you remind me, I have to reply to your Discord message. And of course, things are not really gonna work out before the end of the year. I actually have the plan of stuff to come like in front of me because I saw your comment during the countdown. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember, like, you know, what we discussed with regards to what's yet to come next year. As this year, I mean, probably the book is going to launch. We might do pre-orders before the end of the year, but probably it's going to be printed Q1 because I'll explain later. So we've been incredibly busy with that. And then when the book is finished, that is when I can go into educational theory, like Elliott Wave Theory education and the whole plan and content stuff. And that is probably when we might get in touch. But that's, of course, then going to be next year, not this year. So, man, I'm so sorry for not replying to your Discord message, man. Like, it's really, really bad. I could have just sent a message and be like, yo, we're really, really, really busy with the compendium because, you know, we're I mean, behind schedule. There's not really necessarily a schedule, but it would have been nice to launch it before the festivities, but it's going to be difficult. But yeah, sorry, man. So we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. But I think it's going to be more like a 2026 project. Any Black Friday discounts? I think I got that question yesterday as well. I've yet to check if on the platform, let me just check it here as well. If on the platform that we use for the memberships, if we can actually do discounts, because if so, then it is definitely a discount day, no? Plans. I'm checking. I'm not sure if we've never done this before, actually. So Memberful is for the memberships. It's the platform we use, but we are using it since August. We've never done anything with discounts, so it will be something to check. Let me give that task to Jeroen. At Jeroen, can you check if on Memberful we can do discounts and such for potentially Black Friday and Cyber Monday? There we go. And then I can focus on the stream. Okay. I'll let you know. I will let you know. We're going to check it out. Also, everyone, happy Thanksgiving, especially to all the Americans. Let me put on a light here so you can actually... Oh, wait, it's not connected, I think. Doesn't matter. You can see me nonetheless. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, which also means that the New York Stock Exchange, as Odin wrote in Discord earlier today, New York Stock Exchange is closed today. I think it's open half a day tomorrow, Odin. And then, of course, it's weekend. So, you know, might be some slow days. We don't know. We'll see. But so far, things are going according to plan. So not too shabby. And yeah, let's say no music. Yeah, we had... Wait, you didn't have music? Oh, I know why that is. Oh, you didn't hear my countdown music? Okay, I know why it is. I know why it is. I'll make sure that that doesn't happen again. The thing is with, we're going into analysis in like very, very soon. But the thing is with OBS, I don't know exactly why, but I need to add another like screen capture to add sound from my laptop, because I don't know why, but through my StreamRack system, the sound is not captured. So I need to add an additional screen capture, but my display capture is what records my screen. not the screen capture, because with the screen capture, somehow I can't cut it nicely, while with display capture, I can, I know. So basically what I do during the countdown is, now you can see this eye is turned off. I have to turn it on, which means that basically in the background, the screen is like running, like my screen is being recorded, but the picture is on top. But now the sound would work because the eye is open. That's the reason why. So yo, welcome everyone. Pablo, Christoph, John, what's up from Australia? By the way, John, are you now having like a holiday? I forgot. Like, you're very active on the charts, which is great to see. John is like the absolute legend in the community. Good to see you back. By the way, I told you the hex the hex codes of my background. I replied to your comment. What kind of company do you have? I actually used to have, like, I'm still a global keynote speaker, but I'm you know, I focus more on what I enjoy doing the most. I love speaking. I'm on YouTube speaking. I used to have a company helping parents with gaming children. Used to be a consultant in the gaming and esports industry. And nowadays, I mean, what I do is what you see, basically. This is what I enjoy doing the most. And that is what I spend my time on. But then, of course, you need a business identity because I'm not working for a boss, you know. So then, yeah, everything has to be registered and so on and so forth. So basically everything you see is what I do at the moment. And if there are speaking opportunities, I do take them if they're big enough. If they're not big enough, then I don't really have interest to travel. Because if I travel for a speaking gig, it usually it's global, so then I have to travel, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be talking about half a week to a week. And in that period of time, I can also make content and you know, do things on YouTube, which, yeah, you know, I like to speak in real life. It's just like, if I have to travel too long, you know, the income of speaking at an event has to really match the time I can't spend doing like this stuff, YouTube, Elliott Waves, trading, content, you know. Goedemiddag, Evert. Goed dat je erbij bent. It's good, brother. Yeah, sorry, DRG. Let me write down that I am going to send you a message afterwards. Let me write that down. Got my magic notebook here. Magic notebook. Come on. Okay, there we go. Also, all the plans, Elliott Wave related, are in here as well, and whatnot. Kurtish, welcome. Bula, good to have you here. Also a newborn, yeah. Like, she is, I don't know, she was feeding. I think she might be sleeping now. Yeah, we will check the Black Friday stuff out. I gave Jeroen the task just now. Stan, Flip, welcome everyone. Hey, we're gonna start. So this is the plan for the stream. I'm gonna do my Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna go top down. Many people like to go from higher time frames to lower time frames as well. And in a live stream, you know, I can take a bit more time. So what we're gonna do is, good job, Alex. Good job. Right at the area of resistance, pretty much, I'd say. This was, of course, an important target we had on the chart for a move to the upside in the previous video. But what we're going to do is zoom out, shortly go to the weekly time frame, the daily, and just run through everything. Then we're going to run through the previous video and what we were looking for, which is the move to the upside, take out this high, keep an eye on resistance. And then I will shortly explain what I was looking for here before the live stream started, because this morning I made a morning routine for the elite members and price was somewhere here. And then as price was developing, I mean, here I was sleeping, so the moment I woke up, price was already here. But then I will explain what I was looking for here and why the interest for shorts was here, but I'll explain that And then we're going to be done. So that's going to be it. Is it good to have a longer position on short or small trades? Oh, you're talking swing versus, I mean, we'll get to that question really because I go through the different time frames. But what I would recommend, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is how I would approach it, and I can speak from my experience. If you go into either a long or a short, in this case maybe a short, sure, there might be a possibility to end something at the current local high. But it is still recommended to at least take a take profit one at one of the first areas of support, because you don't know what price is going to do. So you might as well take at least a take profit one, cover the fees, have a little bit of profit in the bag, maybe put the stop break even, and then we'll see, right? And we'll see if price continues to the downside or not. But it doesn't really matter anymore because you already took a little bit off, you took some profit, stop loss break even, and then it's like whatever, right? Whatever, risk-free trade, or at least a lower risk opportunity. So if any shorts were taken around the weekly point of control, which was a target in my previous video, at least it's an area of resistance. So we are observing what happens here. There is an area of support here, daily naked point of control at 89.9. We'll see if price makes it. Of course, you have arguably quite a just like support resistance area here as a TP area. Depends on what you use, of course, but at least we are aware of the resistance. And now we observe the new range, but we'll get to that. So let's start. And we go to the weekly time frame first. Hide the events. I also think there's no news. Next week we got some stuff going on, but this week, we have to wait a little while before there's any news event again, because that's going to be a Monday. So yeah, of course the market's closed, not too much going on. Okay, I add to winners a little bit at a time. Yeah, like who's the adding to winners is the guy from Best Loser Wins. He adds to winners as well. I would add to winners when support or resistance would be broken. Or probabilities, continue to be in favor. So if you are in a short and then you have an area of support, TP, but if probabilities are higher to continue, you can add. Now, if you get a 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, TP, potential long. If you get a 3-wave messy corrective structure, add, look for price to continue, Oops. Okay, weekly time frame. Here we go. So on the weekly time frame, I have a couple of scenarios that I will run you through. I'll make sure to keep it easy, even though there's multiple scenarios. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Good to have you here. Congrats on selling your place again, eh? So 5 waves up, very simply. 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, impulse finished, followed by a 3-wave structure, an expanded flat. Common target for wave B is the blue box. Common target for C is taking out the end of A. We'll see if it makes it, yes or no. Of course, ideally, any swing trade shorts were taken here. Sure, answering the questions. Of course, one can take shorts at resistance. Just make sure that you already moved down for such a big move. Now you also risk the potential of a finished 3-wave structure, right? And price moving back up. So you just got to make sure your TPs are on point. Take quicker TPs, stop loss break even. If price continues down, that's great. You swing trade it down. If price reverses, you took something off, you're in profit. You don't care if your stop loss at break even is touched. So 5-wave move to the downside is required for a flat A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move. Preferably C moves below A. That is most common. I got a couple of questions about running flats the past few days. Running flat means that wave C is not taking out the low of wave A and ends here. At the moment though, you cannot end a running flat here at this low, because wave C always needs to be a 5-wave structure to the downside. And if I show you the chart, you can quite clearly see this is not a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. So we always need at least another 4 and another 5. If you get another 5 to the downside, you don't have too much space here between the low and this low here. So arguably, you'd be looking for price to take out that low if you take out this one. And also a running flat is the rarest flat structure out of the different flats. An expanded flat A, B, C, where B takes out the end or the origin of A, is most common. A regular flat A, B, C, where B retraces between the 0.9 and the origin of A, is the second most common, like it's less common, arguably. And then a running flat would be rare, more so on higher time frames. Now, the second scenario is your bear market scenario at the moment. However, short-term, weekly time frame, it's the same as the bullish scenario, funny enough, because this is a bullish case. ABC, you look for a more significant move back up. After an ABC flat structure, price could continue towards the upside to new all-time highs, continue a larger trend. Mind you, I don't want to go in too much crazy detail. Mind you, though, that this can also just be a W. You create an X and a Y for a nice Ethereum multi-year long range before eventually you move to the upside and take out the all-time high. But it will take some time before we discuss that stuff. So this would be an ABC to the downside, 5, 3, 5. This will take a while, but the short-term opportunity is the same as you aim to long the end of an impulse. 1, 2, 3, wait for 4, wait for 5. Once the 5 comes, areas of support on the chart, look for price to move up. Wave 5 should move down on decreasing volume, preferably at least, compared to 3. That is most common. So we have a volume spike in the current low. You want to see a range. Price moving down, decreasing volume into support. And that gives you an opportunity, and then we'll see. We'll see if the move towards the upside here is motive, meaning 5 up, 3 down, continuation, right? Or a leading diagonal, which is less common, or a multi 1-2. Those are the options that we will pay attention to, which at the moment is irrelevant because we don't have a C. But at least I'm preparing you for scenarios that we're going to cover if a price gets down here, because that's the question. The same is true here. You look to buy, but then you get a 3-wave move up. So not a motive wave, impulse, diagonal, multi 1-2. Instead, you get a 3-wave structure to the upside, not a 5-wave move. We go to the daily time frame. That impulse I'm talking about is this one here. So we currently have a multi 1-2 on the start, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Currently here around the 0.382. Common target area for your wave 4 is the blue box, 90.8K to 94K. Invalidation 97.2K. If price moves up, touches 97.2K, the probabilities for an impulse down are going to be low. Because, I mean, invalidated, arguably. No? So, yeah, that's something to pay attention to here locally. That does not mean for the mega bulls, it doesn't mean that if you touch the 618, you're done with downside. This is your bullish scenario, A, WXY, B, C. If you touch the 618, but the move to the upside is corrective, an ABC can also still create a larger corrective structure like a double zigzag, after which you move up. Right. Awareness, right? Awareness. So this is your bullish scenario, A, B, C. In that case, you want to end wave C at the low and get a motive wave towards the upside here. Now, at the moment, on the 1-hour time frame, though, your probabilities are not really in favor for a motive wave just yet. I would like to see more information to really switch to a more bullish structure, but it doesn't mean you can't trade long. As in the previous video, we were looking for price to move up. We got to move up. So long opportunities are there. You don't necessarily need to wait for a 5-wave up, 3-wave down for a good swing trade opportunity to then move up. Right, local day trading mindset opportunities can be taken at any moment, of course, at least if you have a plan and know what you're looking for, it's no problem. From a more swing trading perspective or investing perspective, preferably 1 waves for 5 up and then 3 down, opportunity, look for upside. But this is yet to be seen. We don't yet have this move towards the upside. And then we get to the 1-hour time frame. There we are. Got a couple of things going on now. In the previous, I'll try to keep it simple here. In the previous video, the probabilities were highest to take out this high. Probabilities are higher. This move down is corrective, not motive, which also increases the probabilities for price to move up. And the reason this is low probability motive is we can't count an impulse because we have overlap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, overlap, not allowed. We cannot count a diagonal because in an expanding diagonal, 5 has to be longer than 3, but it's not. We can't count a contracting diagonal because a 4 is bigger than 2, which is not allowed. And we cannot count a multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and eventually 3 down because price moved back up and started to range sideways for such a long time. So the probabilities were higher. This is corrective. Yo, Alex, how you doing? We're in the same boat now, eh? Alex got his son. Yeah, thank you. We definitely need those diapers. Yo. We're cashing in on the diapers. My wife actually, she bought a box of diapers. She was like, yeah, I just bought as many as I could. So this huge like box arrived at our house. So we're stacked with the diapers, but this is going to be for the new box that is coming because it's for sure not enough, you know. Yo, cheers, Alex, man. We're in the same boat now, of course. Like Alex got his a kid, I think 11 months ago or something, was it? But yeah, now we're both fathers. We turned dads. Oh boy, we're going, you know, changing the diapers. We have a fort of boxes, tons of diapers. Yeah, I mean, same man. But I mean, at the same time, I do think at some point, sorry for the dad talk here. I think at some point, so I'm now a 2-week dad. Like our kid is 2 weeks old and a couple of days. But I do think at some point, maybe in the future, you know, Alex, like you're gonna miss it almost, because now, like our daughter, she is so, you know, so like she's very dependent. It's just such a nice phase, like a newborn phase, very dependent, very curious. Of course, there's the nappies, there's the nights, but I think at some moment, like as time continues, you're gonna look back and be like, it actually was a very nice time, you know. Exactly, naps, cuddles, skin to skin, you know, like I'm trying to take it all in, you know, like whenever I can spend time with her, I do. So skin to skin, playing. Just now we had a bit of playing as well before the live stream. Yeah, you know, it's trying to take it all in, because I also realize, you know, one day she's gonna grow older, and as my friends say, my friends that have kids, they say one day they don't want to hug anymore. Thanks, Kurtish. You are going in a downtrend or an uptrend in that case. I mean, maybe wave 3 is only starting now in real life, no? It is so special. Yeah, be present. Exactly, man. Exactly. So yeah, I look forward to stuff that you do with your kid as well. Going out on the shoulders, do all sorts of things, play, whatnot. You know, it's cool stuff. So you know, if you yeah, you can't ask me for tips because you're ahead of me. But if you need someone to talk to, then I'm always there. So just so you know, gonna steal that for my Tinder profile. Yeah, do that, Mark. Okay, let's shortly continue. So we were looking for price to move towards the upside, right? In the previous video, you can check it out if you like. I don't know exactly where price was at the time when I was recording it, but we were looking for price to move up and take out this high, because we can't actually finish something at this high. And that was the conclusion of the video, because either you're looking at a 5 up, like an impulsive structure, but then you look for a 3 down, 5 up, which means you take the high. If you're considering a W, X, and a Y, you're taking the high, right? So corrective or motive, you're looking for price to take the high, unless, there's always an unless you would have gotten a flat ABC to lower and then a wave Y here. But then you're still looking for another leg up to continue the range. So the probabilities were higher to take out the high as long as you don't get down here. So price took out the high, it moved to the upside after this range. And I did not try to count this range. The only thing I did count was this move down, as explained earlier. Is this motive or is this corrective? That's the only thing really that you have to know. And if you cannot count this as a high probability motive wave, it's very likely corrective, but you don't necessarily need to know what it is and what all of this is, because your bias is always going to be take out the high. And this is the easiest way to count Elliott waves as well. you don't need to necessarily know all of the theory in order to use Elliott waves in your trading to create a directional bias. What you do need to know is actually the most simple part of the theory, and that is the motive waves theory. So the theory on an impulse, the theory on a diagonal, and the theory on a multi 1-2, but just check my video because you won't be able to find any info on this actually, because this is actually a series of impulses to the downside. But just have a look in it's in the beginners playlist. But if you know these three, you know 50% of Elliott waves. Because these three will help you create a bias. We get a move to the downside. If this is not an impulse, if this is not a diagonal, if this is not a multi 1-2, guess what? It must be corrective. Now, I don't need to know what kind of corrective structure it is. Because if you create a high in a local uptrend, and this is corrective, we're looking for price to take the high. And based on this directional bias, as I like, that's the term I always like to use. So based on the directional bias of, well, the bias is up because we can't count a motive wave down. Right? As the bias is up, you can then try to find trading opportunities according to your plan that match that bias. So if the bias is taking out the high, you can look for long opportunities as price is correcting in whatever structure. In this case, we got a very sideways move. Maybe it was going to be a move like this, right? But it doesn't matter because your bias is bullish. You're looking for price at maybe areas of support or whatever your strategy is. You then try to aim to trade in the direction of your directional bias. And we got a nice like almost 7 move towards the upside from the low of this range to the high here. Now as price then approaches resistance, we can see that it starts to slow down. So this is interesting because it's you can use this in your analysis, of course, as well. You move up, price is increasing in volume, and what we see here is an overlapping structure here in the beginning. Price moves up, a sharp move, and then you start slowing down again. This is a little bit of a spike, of course, but you can see price here starts to range once more. So you're creating overlap once more, decreasing volume. Now this is interesting because this is what you see on the chart now. This is an OSO sequence, part of the trend and turn methodology, where basically we don't use all the details of Elliott waves. I pretty much simplified it in just structure and volume to read impulses. In Elliott waves, we call it an impulse. So this is the trend and turn methodology. It's part of Kuhn's theory, a free PDF with all the theory will come when the book comes out, the Elliott Wave Compendium, probably Q1, I'm afraid, but we'll try our best. And then as price is slowing down and ranging, so decreasing volume, overlap, returning, areas of resistance become areas of interest. We had the weekly point of control here together with a range point of control, but I removed that one from my chart. They were at the same place. So therefore, this area becomes interesting for short opportunities. However, the moment price moved up here, I was asleep because this was in the middle of the night. I mean, with a 2-week-old, I may have been awake, but I wasn't in front of the chart. So, you know, 3 a.m. in the morning, I'd say I was asleep. But then I woke up somewhere here. So price was ranging around the weekly point of control. Now, what I would have liked to see at this moment, to have interest myself in looking for a move down, is price to continue to the downside, bearish structure with bearish CVDs. But it didn't. Instead, and this is just what I'm explaining now. I know I'm not really looking at what's happening here, but it's important if you want to analyze the chart. This is how I go through my analysis and what I'm looking at and looking for. So what happened is 2 things. Instead of, like, preferably I would have liked to see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 and continuous like bearish downside change to structure, bearish CVD. But then we take a fib time from the start to the end of this move and you toggle on the 6 fib time. this move up created a new local high after the 6 pip time, which decreases the probabilities that this is a wave 2 and this is a wave 1. So that then leaves us with a choice. This is either a 1, all of this is a 2 and you look for a 3 down, or this is an A, B and you get a C, or this is a 3-wave structure and you look for price to take the high. In both cases, you're not yet interested. I'm not yet interested. Huh? Second, there was bullish CVDs here. I can go to the CVD chart, zoom out a little bit. So here is the same structure. Price moved up on bullish CVD, higher low on price, lower low on CVD. It's not what we like to see, no? We look for price to move down. So, and you made a new high after the 6 pip time, and you had bullish CVD. So sure, we're at resistance, but we don't see weakness. So price creates another high, comes back down, and this is, let me open this here. Show you a little bit about what I was thinking here. So this is the entry membership where I update all the time. And this is yesterday. So yesterday I was like, okay, interesting to keep an eye on the trend and turn methodology. So price moving up, increasing volume, and then eventually, of course, we look for decreasing volume. Pop. Here you can see the same thing. I'll get into specific Elliott Wave stuff later. But then here I said around noon Central European time zone, if price loses the weekly point of control and continues bearish structure with continuous bearish CVD, there might be something. Okay, and then you see the photos here, but let's get through that. So price tested the weekly point of control arguably 3 times here. Then it broke first time. It tries to retest this area, but now it's below the weekly point of control. So we can keep an eye on CVD because that's what I like to use. And this is the area where price, this is your retest. So price moves down. Of course, before it moved below the weekly point of control, there were bearish CVDs. By the way, if you don't know about CVD, check my video on CVD on my channel. It's above 100K. It's the first video that managed to get above 100K views. And I have a free template in Discord. You can just go to Discord, download it, description, click on the Linktree link, go to Discord, and then you'll find it in the Good to Know channel. So here we can see bearish CVDs, then price loses the weekly point of control, which was about here. And this is the retest. And the retest was with bearish CVD. Cool. Price moves down, changing the structure again, right? Bearish downtrend, lower low, lower high, more bearish CVD, more bearish CVD. So as price is moving down, we see bearish CVD, which means there's an absorption of market longs with limit short positions pushing price to the downside, which is interesting. So we're looking for price to move down. So then you're still around that weekly point of control, but now you have the support of structure and CVD to take a position. Now price moved to the downside and it's just halting here. Arguably there's a bit of a support resistance area here on the chart. And I do have support down here, which is the daily naked point of control. So just like as price was moving up, this is something I keep an eye on, just in case. Overlap, sharp on volume, overlap. Decreasing volume, slowing down into a daily naked point of control can be an opportunity. If price moves to the downside and volume is increasing, I'd be more patient and I have to observe the reaction because that's not preferred. So it takes time. So that being said, right, so that was a lot of focus on, I suppose, management and positions. So you can see that even without counting things in detail, you can still use Elliott Wave knowledge. Trend and turn is Elliott Wave simplified, arguably, but you can still use this knowledge for positions and probabilities. Now we get to these scenarios. So now we go to the detail, which makes things maybe a little bit more messy, but still. Okay, couple of things going on. First of all, this is the WXY as I had it on my chart previously. WX, ABC, wave Y. This is a double zigzag. After wave Y, you look for price to move down and take out the low. This is a bearish scenario. Price moves up, but it is a bearish scenario. You can also see here that I have a vertical line on my chart, fib time, and this wave B. Because in Y, we're looking for an ABC. I can end wave B here, and I believe John and Joan have a count for this range as well. I kind of like CBA, counting very low time frames, because it's just not my, I'm not interested. It generally doesn't serve me. It takes a lot of time, but time versus money, it's just not worth it. So if I can identify the move down is corrective, that's all I need to know, and then CBA counting the low time frame. But what we can see here is that if we end wave B here, it ends after the 6 fib time compared to A, meaning B is over 6 times longer than A in time. Now, time is not an invalidation, but it does affect the probabilities. Therefore, from a probability standpoint, one would arguably put B here. Then again, I haven't counted this in detail, but if you put B here and you take into account that B is now not longer than 6 times A, but shorter, is now 3 times A, which is fine. It would mean that you need another 1 here, a 2, and then eventually a 3, a 4, and a final 5, and then go down. This would be another 2, but then therefore you need another 4. Preferably wave 4 is similar in size or longer than wave 2 in time, which at the moment, we don't see a range here, right, that is equal in size. Just something to note. Of course, we had resistance, so I explained why the interest for a short is there. But in this particular scenario, there might be another 4 and then a 5, after which you then expect to move down. Right? If you put wave B here, though, C would be finished. So now we're doing like, or arguably, it can be finished here at the high. But that's the nitty-gritty. And that's also, again, something with Elliott Waves. When you're trading Elliott Waves, right, you aim to enter in the 1-2s, you get to 3, you aim to exit in the 4-5s. You shouldn't care about missing out on a potential final 4-5. Over here, in this range, the probabilities as price moved down from the high were higher to take this high. Long position, price moves up, resistance, take profit or exit. Not really caring about a final potential 4 and 5, because there might not be another 4 and 5, because there's a way to end a structure at the high. Price might continue to the upside, because we also have scenarios where price just continues pushing, but then there will be another opportunity. Right? This is still almost a 7% move from the range low to the local high. If entries were taken in the middle of the range until resistance, it's a 5% move. That's good. Right, that's good. Second option here would be this WXY, which basically is short-term the same movement. You finish something here, go down, but it's a B. This turns into a corrective structure. It's a wave B. You go back up. Well, we need to wait and let the chart do its thing to identify this structure as corrective or motive. Just it takes a little bit of time on the lower time frames. Interesting support for this B, however, is 89,930. That would be my main area of interest. And we have a daily here, but that would be very low though, but still at 87.3. Volume levels are my favorites. This is a volume level, so that's my favorite. So I would be interested in observing if price gets there and how it gets there. And then there might be an opportunity here, according to this scenario. So I removed the trend lines. This was trend and turn. Oops. So you have your A. You look for a B. And then you get a C towards the upside. And that's where you finish your Y. Still a bearish scenario. It just leads to a bit more upside still. No? Okay. Short term, it's the same move. Right? Same move. Finishing A basically means overlap, overlap, and then retrace. It's just a question of B, that should be corrective. And if you finish something here, the move down should be motive. That's the difference. but it takes time to identify it because we need to wait for this structure. The most bullish scenario is just continue up. Not the highest probabilities at the moment to count it like this because 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now you want price to extend, increase in volume. The reason why is that this wave 1 is 3 times the size in time compared to the highest degree wave 1, which is not what we like to see. So that lowers the probabilities, but time is never an invalidation. That's why I have it on my chart. But in this scenario though, you would look for 1, 2, 1, 2. Also this wave 2 is very long as a lowest degree 2. This wave 2 would be longer in time than the 2 higher degree wave 2s, arguably. Not amazing, but still, you're looking for price to just 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. You go up, 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 up. You're basically going to invalidate an impulse on the daily time frame. So yeah, you can see I just have what's going on here. Okay. So you can see on this time frame, I have a couple of stuff going on because we're just observing the local price action. Like the highest probability move was this. And now as a new range is forming, I basically need to wait for this range to form to really get new local probabilities and look for a new local opportunity. So yeah, another option here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I know there's overlap between these 3 tops and that low. There is a way, however, to count a wave 1 down here, which then means no overlap. It's not pretty, but there's a way. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, preferably 3 extents, which currently isn't the case. You can count A, B, C, but C is also quite short. You preferably still get higher in both the C and 3, unless it's a multi 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, deeper retracement 2, continue. That's very bullish. However, this is the same price action as the WXYs that I just showed as well. It's exactly the same. You just put another number or letter on top of it. But if you count this as a structure that's almost finished, you're looking for price to turn. You count this as a 1, you count this as an A, you count it as a C. Honestly, it doesn't matter because the directional bias is the same. You're looking for a retracement in all of those cases. So we can put many things on the chart, but if we are simplifying Elliott waves, which I love to do by what I just did earlier in the stream, this move to the upside here, overlap, sharp, overlap, volume, high, up, declining, into resistance. And I accidentally levels. Oh wait, yeah, over here, sorry. Into an area of resistance. So naturally, you're then looking for price to end something, either at the resistance here or maybe one resistance box higher over here. That's fine as well. Maybe you go all the way to the RPOC, but now we already started the range here, and that's what we were looking for at this resistance. And then we can observe the range, because a new range will give information that we can use for our plans. Now locally, 5-minute time frame, lower time frame, always take it with a grain of salt. We have this move to the downside, right? Highest volume currently in the low. If price would move up to, come on, 91.2K, I prefer to take this level from this high to this low and not take like one of the lowest ones, just to be sure. The 618 would be an invalidation for wave 4, because if this would be a couple of 1-2s, you would get a wave 3. Wave 3 includes the highest volume, and then you want to see 4 and 5 and 4 and 5, and basically price is overlapping again, volume declining into support. That's what we like to see. If price would move up, touch the 0.618, the probabilities increase that this move down is corrective. So this is a corrective move to the downside in that case, which then increases the probabilities to take out the high. Let me repeat. If price moves up from this local low on the 5-minute time frame to 91.2K, the bias will be towards taking out the high. if price continues down on decreasing volume with preferably some overlapping price action into support, that's an opportunity for a bounce up. And then we'll have to see what the bounce up brings. Okay. So that's the way to read probabilities. So 91191.40 on the Coinbase Bitcoin USD chart. That's a level to keep in mind because that's where your probabilities change to taking out the high. And you can still create a larger corrective structure, right? This becomes then a 3 wave. You can still create a 3 and a 3 move to support daily naked point of control and up. That would be very interesting, to be honest. I would like that, but we'll have to see. We read price action, so we need to wait for the price action. But that would be interesting at least. And then after daily naked point of control, continue up. Now I do have some resistances that I think are important to be aware of. So price, of course, touched our support, value area low at 81. That is where the low was created. And then price moving up. Resistances currently on the chart, weekly point of control, but of course it's been tested. And now that I showed it live, I'll remove it from my chart because I don't really need that level anymore. Then we have the value area high box here. So between the weekly point of control and the range point of control, it's quite a gap, right? 95.3 and 91.3. It's quite a gap. And as price started to slow down here, turn from vertical to horizontal on decreasing volume, I was like, well, we're at the weekly point of control, but if price continues, I don't think it would shoot up in one go to the range point of control. It's already starting to turn, decreasing volume. I am wondering if I can find something in between these two areas of resistance, being the weekly point of control and the range point of control, that if price continues up here, this might be an opportunity. Of course, now price locally already retraced and we're rearranging. But basically, this box between 92.9 and 93.5K is a bunch of value area highs of this range. So if I just take a couple of value area highs that are a little bit different from one another, then you can see that you get a bunch of value area highs here. And those value area highs are inside the box. So I just visualized the value area highs with the box so that I know, okay, there's something going on there. I am aware. And then above that, range point of control. I prefer volume levels. So let me zoom out. You can put this on the chart. Also, my chart is pretty much always shared. So you can always go to my chart, and most of the day I'll have levels on my chart. So you can always just copy the levels if you like to. They're nicely respected. But it is important that you know what they represent. And these are all the volume levels, range point of controls or daily naked point of controls. But I have videos on the volume levels as well on my channel in the education playlist, what traders should know playlist. So and this is pretty much it. So locally, so when we talk opportunities, we had an opportunity here as the probabilities were higher for price to move down. Not sure when I uploaded the previous video, but this move to the downside here was a higher probability corrective structure, which increased even more the probabilities to take the high. Range, price moves up, takes out the high. Opportunity, price moves up, resistance, TP, exit, something. Then we have overlap, sharp, overlapping price action, again into an area of resistance, opportunity. I was asleep, but I explained earlier why the opportunity came here. It came later when retesting the weekly point of control, moving below it again, retest, bearish CVDs as price was falling. Now, of course, we're moving into SR flips and supports and stuff again, right? So TP, management, right? And new opportunities. So what am I looking for? For new opportunities, I'm looking for the following. I currently have two opportunities in my mind. So first of all, overlap, sharp, continue down, decreasing volume, overlapping price action into the daily naked point of control, opportunity. I'll be observing the reaction if we do this. The other option is that price moves up first to 91.2K, doesn't take out this low, price moves up, 91.2K gets touched, which means that my directional bias is bullish as I'm looking for price to take out the high. As probabilities are higher, this is a three-wave structure down, which means longs are interesting. But then preferably, I would still love to see price moves to support, opportunity. Okay? Now, there might be a new level tomorrow. We don't know, right? There might be, we have to wait and see what happens. Like if price moves towards the upside here, for example, then maybe tomorrow there might be a new daily naked point of control here, which might be an opportunity, but well, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. At the moment, my closest level as like real horizontal level is 89.9. So those are the two opportunities that I have in mind. That's what I am looking for at the moment. Either price goes down, decreasing volume, overlapping price action into support, or price moves up, touches resistance, confirming probabilities. It's always probabilities, not it's always probabilities, not certainties. Probabilities are higher. This is a three-wave move down. If price moves up, which increases probabilities to take out the high, which means the bias is bullish. That doesn't mean this is an entry, because it's not, but it does mean that as price ranges, it's interesting to look for upside opportunities. Preferably, I would like to see levels touched, like the daily naked point of control, or new levels that may appear in the range in the coming days, as at the moment, I don't have any other levels. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for at the moment. So on a higher time frame, right, on a 1 hour time frame, and yeah, we have a couple of options. But the lower time frame here will let us know if a move to the upside is now finished or not. We touched resistance, there's an opportunity, price moves down, that's perfect. And now we'll see, does it go down here or does it go up there? The bias will change depending on what we get. Opportunities are everywhere. Where do I find the chart? Not sure if someone linked it. So in the description, there is a Linktree link, and then you can go to his live chart, and then you just click on this. It will open a new window, and what you see is this. You can't change the folders and stuff, but you can see what I have going on my chart. So in other words, when I do my analysis. Hi, YouTube. You will be able to see this on the chart right now. It's live, so everything I do is immediately visible on the chart. And that also means that when I do my analysis, if I'm changing counts or, you know, like changing counts, adding levels, checking other stuff, you'll see it. Because you can see me either draw on the chart, or you can see I put fibs on the chart. And if you look at my charts, and I wouldn't be live, but then you see the 618 here, if you know a little bit about the analysis, I like Elliott Wave Analysis and what I show on the channel, you probably know what this means. So just by looking at my chart, you're like, oh, he's putting a 618 on his chart. Well, the only reason Kun does that is if he is looking to invalidate a wave 4. Hey, price moves up, invalidates wave 4. Higher probability three-wave structure, higher probability to take the high. You don't even need my analysis. You just need the chart. So yeah, you know, we'll see. But yeah, that is you know, live chart is useful, I suppose. Yeah, with regards to Atas, they indeed have a Black Friday special, which I actually have to share. I'm not so good with the partnership stuff. Like, but there's a there is a promotion, 5% discount, and of course I have a promo code if you like to support the channel as well. I'll post it after the stream in Discord, and in on the YouTube. The YouTube what is it, wall, like the post wall. So basically you go to Atos, and if you do want to support the channel and you get a 5% discount code, or if you get 5% discount, then this is the code. If you enter that, you get 5% discount. Yes, it's affiliate, so the channel earns, I don't know exactly how much we get actually, not that much, 5% or 10%. I forgot. I need to check. Like Atas, I think in total now $35 through Atas. So I'm not really paying much attention. But hey, if you want to support the channel, it's appreciated. You know, help me buy more diapers for the baby. It's all good. It's all good. But anyway, you get 5% discount, and you know how it works, right? So that is the analysis. Let's go into chatting and Q&A. So if you had a question that was asked earlier, just re-ask the question, and I'll get back to it. By the way, thanks everyone for the papa wishes. And also here, I'm also a father. Raptorist777, enjoy. It's wonderful. So far, it's been really fun. Missed your live streams. What's up, Arturo? Here we are. It's a lot of work now. Of course, I have the baby, but also the compendium and stuff. So, how are you today? I'm doing very well. Thank you. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving for the ones that just joined. When will you make Ethereum? You surely predicted the highest taken, but I'm very interested what you would say at the current price. Yeah, so I actually did an ETH analysis, but I didn't make a video. Plop, plop. This was on the 21st. It's a week ago. So a week ago, I looked at Ethereum, and yeah. So what's my conclusion here? Yeah. So let me just go through. So there's a few options with regards to the range that we're in. No? With on ETH. This is morning routines. Where's Ethereum? Alt updates. So here we have Ethereum. This is the daily chart. I'll go to the real chart in a second. So the bullish case is you're looking for a finished 1 and a 2, and then continuation to the upside, no? In this particular case, you preferably see this structure break. It almost looks like a bearish trend and turn structure, right? Overlap in the beginning, acceleration. So you want to break this, price moves back up. And I think there's a bit of a bounce going on. So this, of course, is what you don't really want to see. This would be more like a 5-ish structure, but still there's a buying opportunity if you do create more overlap and slow down at lower prices. Bullish case, opportunity here in the circled area, wait for 5 up, 3 down. It's very similar to Bitcoin, and I'll go to the ETH chart in a second, but it's very similar. WXY probably to the downside, double zigzag down, low made, look for a bounce towards the upside, preferably 5, get 3 down, swing opportunity, look for continuation to the upside. What's this? This is the weekly. Oh yeah, this was messing around on a weekly time frame with a larger flat in wave Y, A, B, C to the downside, alternative. Okay, and then I put these two invalidations on my chart, 3K basically, and 3.4K. Reason I put those on my chart is because they can invalidate a multi-1-2 to the downside for the bears. So if price can move up and touch these levels, if you touch 3K, it puts some probabilities in the bullish basket, and if you touch 3.4, bullish have highest probabilities. So I tried to keep it simple. I have no idea how ETH is doing. Let's see. So here we are. Boom, boom. Daily time frame. Side note, the altcoin alt updates is also the entry membership. So here we have the two invalidations. This is, you will recognize the photos. Let me go to a weekly time frame. So I started on the weekly. Our bullish count is what we were looking for in this range is W, X, flat in wave Y, finish here, 618, common target, go up, take out all-time high. So that was the highest probability weekly count. Price moved up, took out the all-time high, just, has to be said, like just moved up. And then moved to the downside, right? So for the bulls, let me remove the lines. You're looking for a wave 1, wave 2, continuation up. You don't really want to extend this range in a longer corrective structure, right? Preferably, that's the low for the bulls. And you move towards the upside, 5-wave structure. Your invalidation is the low. And so far, this structure to the downside is looks more corrective than motive, has to be said. But yeah, 1, 2, and you continue to the upside. What do I have here? Oh, this was Elliott Wave simplified. So looking for a retracement to come, but we got the retracement now, so I'll remove it. This is your quote-unquote bearish count, but still bullish, actually. So here, W, X, bigger Y. It requires a wave C down, 5-wave structure. At the moment, I can't really give it it's very messy, this move down. It's not a nice motive wave to the downside, arguably this one. But what you're looking for here is the trend and turn methodology. So we open volume, overlap, sharp move down on increasing volume, and then eventually slow down, overlap, make some more lows, and then go up. Both of these would still lead to more upside. The most bearish scenarios is, I mean, it's just that you finished something here, but it's not really a great way to finish something at the current high. You're really talking about a weekly time frame thing that you finish, right? We cannot like this. This could be like your bearish count one. I mean, I haven't analyzed this time frame. This is on the spot, but you would count this then as a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, and 5. That would be your bearish count. 5 is finished, and now you start your bear market, go back down, and then and then later find the strength again to go back up. That's your bear market count, but there's no proof for this to be the highest probability count. So the bullish probability is taking out the all-time high. That one played out. But if we look at this move down so far, look at the overlap. And that's the ugly thing here. So you have constant overlap with new ranges formed at lower prices. And now we have overlap again. So in a bearish scenario, you want to see acceleration to the downside and then create a range that does not overlap. Because the bears are looking for multi 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 gap. That's preferred. But now you look at the structure and you're like, well, right? Multi 1, 2 here to the downside doesn't look very nice. Because of or at least an impulse down. We can't count an impulse down. But for a multi 1, 2, it's also not too great. I think Sam posted in the lounge earlier this morning, but you basically need like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, and then a 3 down. Just doesn't really add up at the moment. So probabilities are higher, it's corrective till proven otherwise. I'll just keep it very, very simple. And hitting these two levels increases probabilities for the bull. So the first one's touched, but preferably price moves up to 3.4K. That would be good. So yeah, And also if we want to count like a motive, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. But then this is your wave 4. Your wave 4 touched the 618, taken from the end of 2 to the end of 3, which is very low probability. So that's not preferred. So we don't like to do this. So basically, therefore, you need another 1, another 2, another 1, another 2, and you just keep 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But it doesn't really, it's nicer to just count this as some WXY, like just keep it simple, WX, pop, 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 Y. That's your bullish scenario. Yeah. But then for setup, so this is the difference between the scenario and the setup trading wise, where preferably, which chart was it? No. So preferably, when talking setups, people love to try and snipe the lows. Well, first of all, if you are interested in that stuff, this range is always, you always expect a bounce when retesting structural support. So when you finish an impulse to the upside, a 5-wave structure, your 2 areas of interest is going to be wave 4 of a lower degree or wave 2 of a lower degree. Arguably this wave 4 is a lower degree, but you're going to look at the previous ranges, the 4s and the 2s. 2 tested here, 4 tested here. This was the range after 4. This is the first hit of 2. So you always expect a bit of a bounce. So naturally, area of potential entry, potential swing trades and whatnot. No, but now you're above this area. For bulls, what would be ideal is get a 5-wave up. Let's see if we get some, if we have some resistance here. Let's PVP, put it on month. Let's see what we got. Go to a lower time frame. Okay, not much. Go to the week. Also not much. Okay, so then we just use volume. Ideally, we get a 5-wave move towards the upside, reject around this area, 3-wave move down, buy up. In a nutshell, you might not snipe the low, but you are sniping high probabilities. You can't compare this move down really. This was like it's counted as an impulse to the downside, where if you go to my video that I made, what was it? The beginning of the year in 2025 on Ethereum, you'll find it in the altcoin playlist. We were looking for price to move up and move to the all-time high down here. So you can find that one. But if you did not enter down here somewhere and you want a high probability entry on this, like on like a daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, of course we can analyze the ranges, but in a nutshell, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Well, if you get a 5-wave move up, you're always looking for a 3 down, 5 up. You take a Fibonacci from the low to the high, and the 0.382 is a minimum target for a wave 2. Respected. And then price moved up, and the rest, of course, is history. So yeah, of course, one can argue like, hey, it's easy in hindsight, but go to my Ethereum videos that I made, and you will see that the probabilities were highest to move up from here and up from here. You'll find it in the altcoin playlist. Oui. So yeah, at the moment with the structure down, corrective till proven otherwise. Safe entry would be waiting for 5 up and 3 down. You might not snipe the low, but you're sniping the highest probabilities. Price never moves in straight lines. At some point, it always comes back down. Those are your opportunities. On a lower time frame, of course, the opportunities can be taken here. If you can identify these ranges as corrective, you're looking for price to move up. So you can still enter in lower degree wave 1s and 2s as well, right? Same with this move up. Also here, look at the overlap. Did it move down? Almost overlap. It's not a great structure for the bulls here at the moment. So preferably if you count an impulse, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, no overlap, right? This invalidates in an impulse. We don't like to see this. Unless that's a 1 and that's a 2, then you have overlap between 2 and 4, but that's still something you don't actually want to see. So the probabilities are then geared towards the bears, unless you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But that's you know, so you keep stacking 1-2s like that on the same time frame. You're probably gonna start considering something like this, you know, WXY again. Same like Bitcoin, basically. So it's not yet a very bullish structure. It channels well as well. You know, channeling is something that we like to see in corrective structures. If bullish, you really need an explosion. You need to get out of the ranges. You need to get a gap to the upside and then create another range here. And then have a gap between the ranges down here and then the ranges that you start up there. At the moment, structure is bullish. It's just bullish scenario is a multi-1-2, bearish scenario is a WXY. Yeah. Oh, by the way, wait, I want to see where the point of control of Ethereum is. Oops. Where is the point of control of this range? 2.5K. Ah, the value area high is tested. That's nice. Let me do this. Dark. Yeah, I set value area high, right? There we go. Okay, that's neat. That's neat. Let's put the value area low on the chart as well. Areas of interest. Yeah, I removed the white box. I removed this as well. Clean up the chart, and then there we go. So if price comes down, I'd keep an eye on these levels here. Interesting. Yeah, we just wait and see how this clears up. Currently, structure is bullish. I mean, if you keep the structure bullish, then you know, I mean, bulls are in favor, no? But the bulls don't want to change structure. If the moment you change the structure now, that's bearish. You're probably looking for price to take the low, highest probability, because the only scenario that works here for the bulls is a multi-1-2. We can't count an impulse here with great probabilities. We cannot count a diagonal here with great probabilities. So then you have a multi-1-2, which means structure needs to hold. If structure fails, you're looking for the low. No. Bitcoin still ranging here for a while already. So yeah, that was Ethereum. Greetings from Germany. Yeah, kijk. Got my bratwurst friends here. Kugelschreiber. Schmetterling. I love those videos where they have different languages and they have like pen. Kugelschreiber. You know, maybe someone has seen it. It's funny. Okay, good to have you here. Good to have you here. Welcome. Which indicators are you using? I only use volume and PVP only for the weekly and monthly time frame. I use ATAS as well. So I use ATAS to find daily naked point of controls, weekly naked point of controls, or monthly naked point of controls. So the blue lines are daily naked point of controls. Yellow with WNPOC, that's ATAS, right? So these are all ATAS. My template is in Discord. And if you want to have ATAS yourself, then I have a very nice little discount code for you in the chat. And of course, you support the channel. But this is the daily naked point of controls, ATAS. The yellow lines with WNPOC, also ATAS. And the purple lines here with MNPOC is also ATAS. if a line is written on my chart without the N, so for example, here it says WPOC here, that's a PVP indicator level. This is WNPOC, ATAS, WPOC, PVP. So that is this indicator. I only use it for weekly and monthly levels to double check if there's a difference, basically. So yeah. Actually interesting that there's, wait. Oh, there's apparently a weekly, well, a nice one. On the week PVP, 1 hour time frame, we do see a weekly PVP level here. 50-minute time frame? Oh, on the 50 minutes, it's all the way up there. Okay, that's a difference. Also on the 4 hour, it's here, but it didn't extend. Only on the 1 hour. Well, might as well put it on the chart while we're at it, no? I mean, why not? We can at least observe. There we go. And we touched a weekly point of control here, but I already removed it from my chart because we touched it. So we are at resistance. Okay. How's the baby? Yeah, the baby is doing really good. Thanks for asking, and thanks for everyone's interest. But she's doing very well. She's growing. She's above birth weight, so that's good. She's very curious, very interested in the world. Of course, blurry eyesight when they're young, but she's very interested and active during waking hours. She doesn't really, you know, she can be incredibly calm. She can easily just sit on your lap and just watch, and you know, like no problem at all. But she does like the stimulation as well. So just walking around, going outside, in the house on the play mat, doing some baby gym. But yeah, she's doing good, and mom is doing good, dad is doing good. So you know, happy family. Yeah, we're all doing good so far. It's been great. You know, it's amazing having this we you know, little cub, as we say here. You have on your chart, or only can we look? No, when I share a chart, or when you go to my chart through the link, my folders can never be accessed. It's just a trading view thing. So yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter like what, like, or membership or not, but when I share a link, the folders and stuff are always hidden. You can just see the chart and what I have on the chart, basically. 3 yourself, Mr. Russell, 6 years old, and twins that are 4. Going for number 2, and then surprise, surprise, got you. 3. You know, enjoy. I have to wait a couple of years to reach those ages with our kiddo. Chichan, hey guys, I can tell you what's going to happen next for Bitcoin. It's going to touch 91,200 for sure. You know why? I have a short position open there, and market always stops me out. Well, hopefully you managed it. Price moved down, touched some support, you took some TPs, stop loss break even, and then if, you know, price goes up, then no problem. No problem. Also, of course, you don't want to, so with regards to shorting and stuff, like we had, maybe I shouldn't have removed the area of resistance, but we had resistance at somewhere here, the weekly point of control that I already removed from my chart. Now, if one takes shorts, preferably, of course, it's around resistance, because locally, of course, price now moves into areas of support. So it doesn't mean, of course, you can take a short and maybe price moves down, but of course, ideally, and this is low time frame, even if price moves down, it would be nice if price creates a bounce here, and this is a corrective move up, messy corrective. You can look for another leg down, gives a new opportunity. There's always another opportunity. But yeah, of course, when shorting here, you see this structure. The moment it starts to accelerate, it's like preferably it's a no entry zone, because you get always typical impulsive motive wave structure, right? You get the overlap, you get acceleration down, but then you start overlapping again to end the move. Sure, the acceleration down sometimes can be long, sometimes short, but we're on a 50-minute time frame, and when you're already a couple of candles in, you got to be aware that you might start 4 or 5 soon, or if it's corrective, this becomes an A, B, this is your C, and then you just go up, you don't get the 4 5s. So it's just higher risk. Just higher risk. So then preferably one waits, sees what happens here, and then finds a new opportunity. But I explained what I'm looking for with opportunities, of course, on the chart during the analysis. Is there a chance? Yeah, so the template I have on my AGGR chart is the newest from Mr. Friends. And previously I was testing it, now I'm just using it. We're still thinking about like what to do with the template. I have to ask Mr. Friends. He's the coder in the end. He's the mind behind the edited CVDs. So I'll keep you up to date. I have to send him a message, answer his messages as well as he wrote me on Discord. But it's a nice one. It automatically adjusts everything, which is really cool. Primor here. Welcome, Primor. Yeah. With regards to alt, how long are we live for? 1.5 hours. I think I'm going to end it soon, though, because there's a lot that needs to happen still today. Gym and compendium, and then we have the little one. I was actually planning to be online for an hour, but I didn't keep an eye on the time. So the alts will come, but also with the work on the compendium, it's so difficult to put more time into alt analysis because it takes time to do good Elliott Wave analysis, bearish and bullish scenarios, and then find the opportunities. So that's why I mainly focus on Bitcoin all the time now. Is it me? And does that move up look more like an ABC on Ethereum? Yeah, or a WXY. What's up, Dow? Yo, Obelisk, how you doing? Baby is good. Are we more bullish on ETH than Bitcoin daily, weekly? I guess we need the BTC ETH chart for that. But arguably, when you look at the structure of Ethereum, Ethereum looks more corrective from the all-time high than Bitcoin does. So in that case, one could say yes. And the downside is that if Ethereum would accelerate to the downside and you get a larger 3, you're going to be in trouble because you're looking at by now like 4 1-2s or something. If you get a 3, it's a massive, that's a big dump. It's not the highest probabilities at the moment because of all the overlap. So it looks better as a corrective structure. So in that case, yeah. Can the last move in Bitcoin be a flat? This one here, yes, but then I like to see some 4 5s. So A, B, and then you'd like to see a C down. But then, of course, 1-2s, 3, 4 5s, slow down, decreasing volume into support, bounce. So still like price to move down. There we go. Sorry, just rebooting my streaming window here. But I still want price to move down. What time frame to use to know structure changes? I mean, you can use Elliott waves on any time frame. It's the beauty of Elliott waves. So you can trade structures on a 1 hour time frame. Like so for example, let me use this example. On a daily time frame, you have this impulse. Right? This is a bearish structure, right? It's a structure where price moves down. As long as it's not invalidated, we got to keep this in mind. Invalidation 97.2, but it doesn't mean we can't take longs. So the invalidation is 97.2, but as per the previous video, the probabilities were higher to move up locally here, which means there is an opportunity, depending on your plan and your strategy, but an opportunity to look for upside. And then we'll wait and see. Maybe price just trade continued to 97.2, and then you're like, well, I'm already positioned, 97.2 touched, impulse invalidated. I might be able to hold on for longer. Right? Then it just becomes management. So structure changes. Yeah, like this is how, I mean, if from an execution point of view, structure can change on any time frame. Right? So on the 50-minute, right, structure changes here. On the 1 hour, structures change. On the daily, it's just that the lower you go, the quicker structures change. So generally for newer Elliott Wave analysts, I recommend analyzing the 4-hour chart because there's still enough information that things change, but they don't change too quick. So it's a bit easier to analyze. So here's a question. I actually got this as a comment, I think, from someone else. But the question is, are we in a bear market? Yes or no in Dutch. What's up, Kamyar? So I don't actually use the terminology bull bear market. It's just that price goes up and down, but there's opportunities both ways, right? What is a bear market or what is a bull market? Bear market, arguably, you go down 70%. No, currently we move down 30 or something. Is this a bear market? Maybe for some it is, for some it isn't. So are we in a bear market? No, I do not talk about bull or bear market. I just talk about opportunities. And if this is a bearish structure and we go lower, well, that's fine. Opportunity at the end of a 5-wave structure, that's the buy zone. And then depending on the move up, we'll see. Because in a bear market, you need this to be a 3-wave structure. That is when you're going to look really for 5, 3 up. Well, you're going to be looking for more downside. So, no. But then again, I kind of like stay away from the terminology because it doesn't help anyone. So I look at opportunities, right? Where's the trading opportunities or investment opportunities? Because even in a downside market, there's more than enough opportunities all the time, right? All the time in local ranges and the higher time frames. From a swing trade perspective, if you get a 5 down here, which we don't yet have, you're looking for 3 up and 5 down in a bear market. In a bull market, 5 down, continuation. This is a wave C of a flat. But it depends on the move that you get towards the upside. If price here is an ABC, we move up to 97.2K. Probabilities increase. This is a 3-wave structure down. You can create a larger range, but you expect price to move up after. So it's more bullish, right? So not really bothered by bull market, bear market. I think those terms generally, they cause a lot of emotional swings. And you don't want to use emotion in your trading, of course. Preferably stay away from emotion. So bull market, bear market, people talking about 10K, people talking about $1 million per Bitcoin, and unsubscribe. So are we in a bear market? I don't know. Some people may call a 30% move down bear market, and they're shouting bear market everywhere. And maybe in 6 months they're going to be right. Maybe in 6 months they're going to be wrong. I think it's too early. Because at the moment there's no proof. We have a move down. It's 30%, but I don't know. Is that a bear market? Is this a bull market on the 50-minute time frame? Is this a bear market on the 1-minute time frame? You know what I mean? So yeah, I would recommend to stay away from anyone that shouts ridiculous targets both up and down. Be level-headed, just don't care, and it also doesn't matter for your management. Bear market or bull market should not influence your trading management. You should already have a plan before a bear market even hits, right? So bottom line, the moment people talk about bear market, you're too late with selling stuff, right? Selling stuff is up here, spot or whatnot, not down here now, right? I mean, you're going to be very sad if price moves up now, right? If price moves down, you're going to be happy initially, and then you get the bounce. And, like I do expect if an impulse ends here, I actually do expect to move above 90K with the bounce towards the upside. Let me have a double check. Even if you go to the low 60s, minimum target for a move back up would be the 382. If you go to low 60s, that's 83.5. But the next one here, the 0.5, also commonly reached, is a 90K already. Golden pocket would be 100K. So But of course, like that's it. Then again, like it's execution versus analysis. From an execution point of view, Elliott Wave analysts had no reason to hold on to portfolios up here. Zero. Because you can just very easily count a 5-wave move. This is selling, 100% selling area. Because you have weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on a daily, you can get your 1, 2s, you get your 3, you end with the 4, 5s. So it's always going to be, you're always looking for a retracement. Now, depending on the retracement, one has to manage accordingly. If you get a corrective move down, we're looking for another leg up. If this was going to be a motive wave down, you look for continuation down. Of course, as we then get more information, because we patiently wait, this move up here, this one, made the probabilities bullish. This. So here you're like, okay, not sure what's happening. Price moves down. Okay, acceleration. Is this a wave 3? Is this a wave C? We don't know. We wait. The bears are looking for wave 4 and 5, but then wave 4 gets invalidated. Okay, cool. Therefore, this is higher probability ABC. Right, bulls is continue from there. Bears would be W, X, Y, and then go up. So that means that after this move up, it's interesting to buy again because you're looking for price to move to the all-time high, as the move down is a higher probability corrective structure. And now you're looking for more upside. And then the moment price takes out the all-time high, you go back to basically checking the chart the same way, but now you're mainly focused on local structures, as now you're slowly moving from weekly analysis to daily, because the weekly, sure, people were, I always said it's the lowest probability count I have on my chart. People had this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, we're going to 1 million. Hey, 30% downside. Hey, very nice. Sure, but like I had a multi-1-2 on my chart as well. Previously, multi-1-2s here, but it's a scenario I needed to have on my chart because you need it. I always said it's not the highest probability scenario. It just does not make sense to me to label this as the highest probability scenario. Just doesn't. And now we're down 30%. So very nice, right? But yeah, now you just approach it, of course, move up, range by range, price moves down, and nothing changes. So now see if we get a 5 down. If so, buying opportunity is going to be here after some 4 5s. And if price moves up and invalidates an impulse to the downside here on like a 4-hour time frame, then the opportunities are going to be like later, right? So you basically on a high time frame basically. So it's going to be price moves up, this becomes a 3. The 3-wave structure can still become a larger corrective structure, well, aware. So opportunities come later, or you create 5 up, 3 down, opportunity, and there you go. It just takes time and patience. It just takes some time and patience. So yeah, I can't believe the multi-1-2 stuff on the weekly, the daily. I think it's like one person says it and then everyone goes with it, and I'm like, guys, I don't know. It didn't make sense at all. Greetings from the Philippines. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You begin to see it on the low time frame, confirm with each step up. What's up, Legendario? Also correct. Can you show CVD? Oops, zoom out a little bit. So low, oh wait, flat line on yellow. Let me quickly refresh. So we made a low here, and in this local range, we have bullish CVD. This one here played out. But in the local range, bit of bullish CVD, small little bearish one, which would be invalidated if you take this high. Bullish CVD plays out if you take this one here, 91. So, but this is very low time frame, right? This is the 3-minute time frame. Also, as price made a new high, it's mainly interesting to look at CVD on the right side of the recent high. So not zoom out and use these CVDs here, just focusing on the CVD here on the right side. This is AGGR, Pablo Vera. AGGR. So in Discord. Good to know channel. Up, up, up. Where is it? AGGR. Here you go. There it is. Loop. Happy Thanksgiving, Legendario. Cheers, man. How long does it take for you to get used to count the waves properly? The current chart looks a bit messy, but it's probably... so for me, it took about 2 years to be very confident. Yep. Elliott Waves is generally not really something you learn very quick. I would say Elliott Wave Analysis takes at least 1 year. Minimum. In my case, it took 2 years before I was confident and I was good. But I would say that if I compare myself now to what I did when I was 2 years in, my skill now is even much higher than I was at 2 years. So of course you continue to grow, but yeah, I mean, it took 2 years to like be like very quick, know everything, know the rules, the guidelines, and then it's of course implementation, and that's where your improvement will be next, basically. But yeah, at least 1 year. You have a look for patterns, cup and handle? Not really, but the main reason is that Elliott Waves, like the cup and handle, for example, is like people may see a cup and handle, but then what I see is an Elliott Wave structure. So people may see an M pattern or a diamond pattern, cup and handle. What's the other one that you said? Head and shoulders. But then I see it as a Elliott Wave structure. So in head and shoulders, for example, is a 4512 or a 45AB, right? Or a BC or ABC 12. So, or ABC, ABC. So there's like, I approach it from an Elliott Wave point of view. So there might be in head and shoulders, but then I'm like counting basically, while others might just say, hey, head and shoulders. I just approach it from an Elliott Wave point of view. It's just inexperience. The more you're like, so step one is studying, which you've done apparently, and then the next step is implementation, and that's just grinding, man. Like grinding. In my first year, I quit for 2 months with Elliott Waves because I was annoyed. I didn't get it. But the problem with Elliott Waves is the moment you see WXY, you know, it just happens. So I came back to it. So you know, but it's implementation. Implementation also, Berser, you know, surround yourself with people that count. Ask questions. Go if you're in Discord. Of course, I can't really see anymore who's a member or not because all the names are green. Oh, maybe the stream is buffering. I'm not sure, but you know, like if you are in a community, share accounts. Don't be shy. Everyone shares. You know, you can tag me, ask questions, and just by implementing questions, discussing, you improve, and then it's just a matter of time. Then I could start a family. Also a matter of time. How is the compendium and hexa plan? Yeah, so with the compendium, the plan was end of November, start of December, but man, like I think it's much easier for me to get a good estimation of when the compendium is finished, when we actually are finished. And the only thing we have to do is turn on the button to then make it public. Because it's like, as every project, I guess many people here with their regular jobs or businesses will know that things in the end always take more time. So we are in the editorial process is finished, but it still requires us to update certain pieces of text. So that of course takes time, and I'm still working on some details with regards to the text as well. Then it goes to the designer. Then we have the designer running through everything. Then I need ISBN numbers to sell the book, but I first need to actually move my business like to another country, which is where I live now, which is in France. But I basically need to move the business first before I get the ISBN. So basically set up a new business, or if not in France, I can always set it up in Dubai or somewhere else, you know, if I want to do that. Like, so considerations are there. So nothing has happened yet, but I basically need to set up a business somewhere, get the ISBNs, connected to the country of the business so that the IP is part of that business. Then we are left with the limited edition bundles. And those, like, honestly, that's really cool stuff. I am super excited about the limited edition bundles. We really did our best. And some of those things just take 4 to 6 weeks to be developed. And the limited edition bundles of this compendium, the costs are about, like, we are reaching about 30, we're above 35. I think we're reaching 40,000 euro of costs for the limited editions alone. That's not paying the editor, that's not paying the designer. That is only the printing costs and all the high quality goodies and stuff for the limited edition compendium. Because it's not just the book. The regular book will be sold through Amazon, which will be their quality, which is good. Amazon is good, but limited edition is the best you can have. So quality is the best. We have a different cover for the most limited of the 3 limited bundles. The most limited one has a completely different cover with gold foiling. We have certain goodies of incredible quality. And yeah, bottom line, the limited editions alone cost 40K. We have the highest quality of whatever we can find. We're going to put it nicely together. And that takes time because some of those things, the production takes like 4 to 6 weeks. My house is going to be a warehouse for a short time. So, yeah. And then of course, like, we have to put it online, and hopefully people are interested in the limited stuff as well. Which I think is the case, as I know from everyone. But yeah, like, I better do it good than doing it fast. And I wish it was finished already and it was online at the end of November. I wish I could do it the start of November, but we probably can't because it's not here. So it's not finished. So that's the thing. Yeah. But hey, preferably good, high quality, than fast. So we might do pre-orders maybe before the end of the year, just so that we can also check the interest. But we have basic numbers, and yeah, we'll see. So maybe we can do pre-orders. But then I for the pre-orders, or for orders in general, I want to make professional photos, need to find a studio. But that means I basically need to book, need all the goodies, then go to a studio, make professional photos, put them on the website. But I don't have the stuff yet because it takes time to develop. So, yeah, not easy. We have photos, like scans and stuff from the companies that we work with. But and Hexa plan, so that's with the compendium. We're working really hard, putting a lot of time in the book and the limited editions to make sure it's the best. Also, there is something with Robert Prechter as well. Yeah, that's as far as I can tease. That's really cool. That's really cool. Like the main thing I hoped for the most out of the different options I suggested to Prechter. I met Robert Prechter in March. We stayed in touch, I asked him about some stuff about the book and, you know, checking his interest. He wanted to check the book. Gave him the manuscript after the first editorial check. And I had a couple of options of like, hey, like, you know, would you be interested to do X, Y, Z? And then the most important option on that list is basic, or like for us, was the one he agreed on. So that's amazing. So yeah, that's really cool. And Hexaplan is doing good. This is Hexaplan as well. So, you know, this is the calendar, hexaplan.trade, #calendar. Still in beta testing, still things being improved. This is going to launch next year for sure. We're quite far. Like like a lot of things are finished. We just need to check the text of the 6 steps. So Hexaplan is a platform to help people create a plan according to 6 steps, which is according to my video that I made on the 6 steps, which is in the What Traders Should Know playlist. It's the 6 steps to build a trading plan, which is what I used myself and many others in the group as well. I always recommend it. So this platform helps you to do it. This is now just a calendar window. But it's a platform that helps you to do that, collecting data and build a plan. So you can use it with, like you use this platform to help you create a plan, and then you can journal and all of that stuff. So it's going well. It's going well, but it will launch next year. Like I would think probably about Q2-ish, if I had to pick a quarter. Thank you, but trading in a bear market is different. Well, you'll probably be in shorts more often, but the trading in a bear market, or potentially like investing, mainly changes, because if you do spots in a bear market, you're not buying as price moves down, unless you expect a structure to end and then you start buying because you expect price moving up. But in a bear market, like you don't really buy spot till you're towards the end of a bear market or the end of an Elliott Wave structure. So that's a big difference. But when we talk about trading in a bear market, or like day trading, scalping, or arguably a bit of swing trading, that's the same as in a bull market. There's no difference in trading a bear market compared to trading a bull market. You're still gonna look at the ranges. It's just price moves down, but you're still going to look at ranges, corrective, motive, the bounces. Are they motive, corrective, areas of resistance, areas of support? So the approach is very much the same. It's just that spot investing is different in a bear market compared to a bull market. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty much the same. Short, like alts is a difficult story. Like I always focus more on Bitcoin, but alts, shitcoins. I don't remember any analysis on shitcoins or certain alts. Like right now, the last time I checked alts is quite a while ago. So sure, there is value in trading altcoins, but look, I'm not a financial advisor, but when you look at, I have 100% of my money and you have to allocate it, I would put a minority piece in shitcoins and whatnot, stuff you can lose instantly. If you would invest in a shitcoin and it goes down 100%, you continue with your day, that type of money. And the biggest portion goes more into like the bigger assets in the crypto class, right? Instead of like those type of things. Sure, you might be able to get into a long squeeze or a short squeeze. Sure, based on analysis, price might move to the upside, but it's tricky with like if we talk about like really like shit coins or low volume coins. So where's the moon? It keeps getting, yo, Jeroen, what's up, man? I know. Yeah, so that's AJR. 1st of September till the 6th of October. Right. 1st of September, that's the low, to the 6th. Oh, so that's this structure here. Well, based on this move down, I'm not counting this as a 3 unless. So this is the options here. A, B, C, that's for your flat. Wave B internally is then going to be W, X, Y with inside Y, A, B, C. The other option is that you finished a 5 here, which means that this leg up is an impulse, and here you finished either a wave Y or you finished a wave E, triangle, some like, I don't, look, I don't like the triangle, okay? It doesn't make any sense really, but I just saw it, so I just cover it A, B, C, D, E. Because B is so high, I would prefer to put it a wave Y there and then have some like A, W, X, Y stuff. Right? So that's the other option. So those are the two options on how I would approach the move to the upside. The thing now, of course, is that it doesn't really matter anymore because this structure, so previously we kept an eye on an ABC for a flat as well, right? So we were looking for price to move down, either here in a 4, in a 5, or C of a flat. Directional bias is the same because in both cases you move down. The one is just deeper than the other. So price moved down, but after C, we didn't get a motive wave up. We get corrective move up. So this is where things change. And this move down is not regarded as a C of a flat here anymore. It starts to be way too long in time and price. So therefore, you're going to be looking at a bigger flat ABC, or you end something here. The main interest is now analyzing this. If this is motive or corrective, that's the question. When it finished, when it finishes, no? So got away. We learned a lot during this companion process, yes, because it's not it's the first out of 3 volumes. The companion will be a 3-book series. This is book 1. Book 1 is the theory. Book 2 is implementation. Book 3 is execution. But now we learned so much on the process of writing a book, Jeroen also designing a book, the editor, designer, the stuff, limited things, how long it takes for stuff to be created. We learn a lot which we can use for the next book. It just takes a long time for this book now. Cheers, Legendario. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. For Spanish-speaking people, there is a nice community of La Crypto Liga, Bitcoin, a bull tone infinity. I think La Crypto Liga, I remember those. Wait, 1 second. I think La Crypto Liga is from someone that was in my community and learned Elliott waves in my community. Wait, because I recognize this. La Crypto. Yeah. La Crypto Liga. I got a DM, I think, from one of the owners. Oh, it's not recent, so I would need to scroll through all of the exchanges that are reaching out with, we have a new offer for you. We want to partner with you. This is great for your community. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that the owner sent me a I don't know. I would have to find this in my stuff another time. So, but yeah, I recognize the name. And one of the two, because I think it's a multi-owner thing, one of the two was in, they studied Elliott Waves with me. Would the 618 on your chart invalidate further downside and thus be kind? Yeah, the 618 on my chart locally invalidates an impulse to the downside. Here, I mean, honestly, this range is already getting very long for a wave 4 anyway, if we would consider this over here. But preferably it touches the 618. But from a timing perspective, if this would be, I mean, a 1-2, we're currently at about a 6 fib time. If this would be a 1-2, that's still within fib time. So yeah, with or within, it's getting quite long, but preferably it just touches the 618. And if it does, then yeah, this becomes a 3. It's not a long signal because this wouldn't be an entry by itself, but you would expect the high to be taken. And preferably locally, it would be nice to continue the range and then get an opportunity later in the range. The 618 is not the opportunity itself. It's just directional bias. Touch the 618, probability is higher to take the high. The delta neutral. Oh, I don't know. Delta neutral is going long or ETH and short a highly influential. Interesting strategy. No, I actually, I've never heard of this. Sometimes people ask me like, yo, what if I just buy and sell at the same level with the same position, and then just the one that wins, I let that run, and then I lose the other one, but then I close it, and then the winner runs, and then profit. It sounds similar, but I don't know him. I don't know him. What's up, Victor? Good to have you here. Welcome, man. Been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, compendium. We're working hard. I probably have to get to it now. The owner is called Papa. Yeah, wait. I must. I must have. He wrote me with his private name. Yeah, I mean, it's not interesting for me, of course, to scroll through my Telegram list. It's so messy as well. For the live stream. Oh, wait, I think I found him. Or not? Oh, no. This is another guy. No. It's not for the live stream. I'm just looking to my right, scrolling through a Telegram list. Okay. Oh, was it that one? Oh, then I'm confusing because I don't know the channel anymore that stole my CVD. Well, didn't steal it because it's public CVD. Like he got the free CVD, I think, and then he sells it to he sells it to his community, which I mean, it like I don't like that. Like, so we created a automatic CVD divergence, right? So it's created by us, developed by us, by Mr. Friends. Here he is, Mr. Friends. He coded it. We worked on it. We developed it. Can be downloaded. Newest template as well. And there is a channel, but I forgot the name, that downloaded the free one. Maybe got this one here as well. And then he sells it to his community for like $100 a month or something, which is crazy. I don't support that. I don't know if it's that guy, but if so, if he has a CVD with lines that he sells and the membership is like 80 or $100, stay very far fucking away from that person. Thank you. Yeah, maybe it's that one. If that's the guy, then fuck him. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Not Pablo, but the Papa guy, that guy. Oh boy, I'm still considering putting my lawyer on the case though. So, but I first need to set up the business. Bullshit. You're not going to get a free tool and then sell it to your community. I think that is so disrespectful, both to us as well as his community. Like, and he doesn't share the file. He doesn't share the CVD file. He makes screenshots of CVD and puts it in a Telegram group. And that's what you pay for. Okay. Well, in that case, guys, just go to my Discord, download this, be happy, and don't care about anything else. Just don't waste your money. If you need a CVD with lines, get your CVD with lines, okay? It's just free. It's right there. You can enter Discord, exit Discord. I just need a place to offer the template so people can download it. I use Discord. If you don't like Discord, or you don't want to be in the group, just join, download, exit again. But don't go and pay $80, $100 a month to have someone share this with you while you can get it for free because it's developed by us. And to make it even nicer, if you recognize this template, I made that one myself. Yep. This is made by Lemois in PowerPoint. But what they did is they cut out these examples here, these like graphs. They cut this here and they cut this here as well. And then they pretty much left out everything else and obviously the Koens and stuff as well. So the beautiful space of content creation. No, wait, where's my chat? So yeah, I don't know, like you feel free to clip it and ship it. If it's that guy, we don't forget. We'll come for you. Just gotta wait for the business to stand and then we're gonna see. Anyway, it's time for me to wrap things up. So the analysis was done earlier in the live stream. So that means that I will wrap things up, put the timestamps in the live stream, but I will put the timestamps immediately in the live stream so you guys know where the analysis is, where it started, where it ended, and then chatting in Q&A. And then I got to do other stuff. But then, I mean, that's why I got to go. I've been online for 2 hours. So, yeah, I got to wrap things up. Gonna put the timestamps in the live stream immediately after this stream. And then probably for the rest of the day, I'll be very busy with Compendium. Got to go to the gym as well. But time is ticking. It's already 5 p.m. So, woo, time flies. And then we got the kiddo as well. So, you know, time is of the essence. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And price is actually, while we're at it, price is moving towards the 618. There we go. What an end. What an end to the stream. So 618 touch, probability is higher. This is a 3 probability higher to take the high. Price can move up immediately, or we continue this range nicely and move up after to take out the high. But probabilities are higher to take out the high. So there you go. Nice. Exactly at the end of this stream. Ideally, for entries and opportunities, I would like a bit of a longer range, maybe drop to support as an opportunity and then look for price to move up. But the opportunities are now higher to move up and take out the high. So yeah, I got to move. Yes, Legendario, I do have an idea on the pricing, but I gotta go. So just send me a message. I can let you know things. But I gotta go. We're online for 2 hours, so I don't want to risk myself chatting too much, because the moment I start chatting about all sorts of stuff, get more questions, I'll be here for another hour. The last time I said I gotta go, the timer was on 1 hour 24 minutes. Now we're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. So I better get going and wrap things up. So thanks for watching. If you got questions, let you know, or just DM me or whatever. But if you got questions, then let me know, and I'll come back to you. Otherwise, you can find me in Discord and stuff as well. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you at the next one. Bye bye.